to a new segment on the channel. Calling this one car segments. When something like this happens, gotta talk about it. My heart's broken. Charles Oliveira split his eyebrow open during training camp. Dana White confirms that he cannot compete at 294. Now, for one, why are we hard sparring 11 days away out from the fight? I mean, I know that's how they do things in shootbox, but I mean, injuries are starting to pile up at this point, so I'm not saying take a Max Holloway route, but you might need to cut that down, cut that back a little bit. But he was asking for a later date in general, so, you know, maybe it's for the best, I don't know. But we get Volkanovski versus Islam too. Now, if Charles and Islam didn't happen, this is the only fight that I would be okay in accepting a rematch. And the only thing about it is Volk is taking this fight on 11 days notice. This is tough. I'm gonna go more into that probably tomorrow morning in the car segment, but Paulo Costa is also rumored to be out of the card. He originally said he was sparring fine after his surgery and everything, but now it's heavily rumored that he might be out. So now 294 is looking cursed. This is tough. I don't really want to talk much about that fight. I don't know even who could step in for Kamsat. I don't even know if anybody would want to step in for Kamsat. You see what I'm saying? Maybe a Gilbert Burns on short notice, do it a rematch, but like other than that, I mean, and he's the type who would step up to the challenge, but I don't think there's anybody else who would step in. Maybe Kamaru Usman, but it's too much to lose at this point in his career. Charles out. My heart is broken. That's my favorite fighter. But Volk, I mean, Volk's taking on 11 days notice. Okay, he just signed a contract in January to defend his featherweight title. He just defended his title in July for International Fight Week and had surgery that same month. And he's turning around in October. On 11 days notice, he's fighting the top 4 pound-for-pound fighter with Islam Makhachev. Full training camp. I'm sure fully bouncing back and doing everything he can to have the best weight cut that he can after his last weight cut was almost a failure. I don't want to get too much into it, but I want y'all to know if Volk wins October 21st, we have to seriously talk about him being the greatest of all time. I'm going to get more into it why tomorrow morning, but nobody else in the GOAT conversation can compete with the resume and competition that Volk has beat besides John Jones. And we all know what the common denominator or what the difference is between John Jones and Alexander Volkanovski. Now, I'll get more into that later, but you should know what I'm talking about. Paulo Costa being out, I mean, at this point with Paulo Costa, are we surprised? Paulo Costa, man, a lot of it has to do with luck, and a lot of it just has to, I don't know, man. It's just, it has been able to get a lot of fights in, and it's been a lot of pulling out. I'm not saying that he's scared of Kamsat. What I'm saying is just a lot of pulling out. But I mean, he had surgery on his elbow. Maybe that's compromising him, who knows? Or maybe he fights. I mean, he's the one who came out and said that he was sparring good and he was doing good and he won't pull out. But Volkanovski, you're a dog. I just hope it's not a mistake. I'm in the mindset right now that I don't think Volk is capable of losing a rematch. That's just how I feel. We saw how his rematch with Max Holloway, and people say that Max was robbed, and I can definitely see how he was robbed. Well, it was a close fight, but I can see how Max Holloway won, obviously. But the third fight, I mean, it wasn't close. I mean, 50-44, 50-43, domination. It's crazy how Volkanovski versus Islam 1 took place in Australia, and now Volkanovski versus Islam 2 is going to be in Abu Dhabi. Does the result of the matchup change? Me and Blake will talk about it. But man, Charles, you need to rest up. If Islam wins, he's going to be wanting to go up. He's not even going to want to do another full training camp for Charles, which I can understand. He's not even gonna do another. He's not gonna want to do another full training camp for Charles, and maybe not even possibly get Charles, or just, you know, he wants to move up to 170. If Volk wins, he's gonna have to give Islam his rematch, and it's gonna have to be a trilogy. Maybe a trilogy for UFC 300. Who knows? But I'm saying that to say this: Charles' injury might have really made your road to a title fight hard. And I'm not saying that you need to win another fight, because you will always be the #1 contender, undisputed. But it's business that's going to need to be handled either way if one of these guys wins. So, yeah. And you're at the point where you don't even need to fight another fight to be labeled #1 contender, but like, you're gonna be off. You might be off for a while. I mean, guys, we might not see Charles Oliveira fight till next October. So, yeah, that's that. My heart hurt. No Charles and Islam. But Volk, 11 days notice coming off of surgery. I wonder if he moves his January date back. I mean, knowing Volk, he probably won't. But, hey, Volk, you definitely saved the card. And I don't know, man.